So leftist protesters, they're at it again. They're at Trump Tower and they're flipping out and they're flipping the building the bird. I kid you not. So, but one leftist protester, he had enough and he had a solution. He feels he's instantly changed. And then also you got to stick around for the deputy prime minister of Czechoslovakia. He called out Hillary Clinton at their meeting in Germany. You got to see this.
Turn it up loud. This is Freedom Talk.
Yes, welcome back to Freedom Talk. So yeah, I'm in front of Trump Tower and I hear that they're flipping off the president for President's Day. Oh, how thoughtful of you. So, but once again, you can see that they have their pre-printed signs here. So this must be a organized protest as far as somebody's funding it. And they got, nice little words there for our beloved president, but he is doing a good job. So I'm grateful for him. And, but they just take a look, there they go over there. They have over here. This is one thing kind of blows me away is how they say Trump is a fascist regime and must go. But everything that the left does is in the form of fascism, where they're protesting and they are trying to stop freedom of speech with what we have to say. If we don't agree with them, then we must go. We must be silenced. And that's what fascism is. And if Trump was a fascist, I'm tell you the truth, over there in Minnesota with all that ICE protests and everything, he wouldn't be arresting the illegals and trying to get illegals out and the sex criminals and the murderers. He'll be arresting the protesters. That's what fascism does, is they want to eliminate anyone that comes against the opposition of the government. And so if he was truly a fascist, he would be arresting protesters, and that did not take place. And that is anyone that was peaceful and not obstructing justice or impeding with law enforcement or being violent or vandalism, committing crimes. If you did those things, yes, you did get arrested because you deserved it. So they better reconsider what they consider what is fascism. So we have to ask ourselves, is TDS real? From the looks of it and from what I experienced over the years, yes, I think it is. People just flip out and they can't get Trump out of their mind. But don't take my word for it. Let's see what this psychiatrist had to say on
Focus with
Fox.
me now. So first of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated. They're hyper fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
And Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons. And the response was, "Today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans." But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
And what do you see? Because you told me off camera, 3/4 of your patient load right now has what you're calling this TDS.
3/4 of my patients will present with a lot of these symptoms, and within probably 5 minutes of seeing me, their hatred for Trump comes up. So if you're
Yep, 3/4 of the patients, and then it comes up. So they're going in for something that they feel that something's wrong, and then they're realizing that, hey, I hate Trump, but they just cannot let that stuff go.
that hyper-focused on Trump, that's a real issue, and it's worth being treated.
Jonathan is in focus.
Yes, it is. It's worth being treated. So we get some help if you're feeling all these things. To get some help, and there's psychiatrists out there that can treat this stuff. But anyways, there's another gentleman, and he had another solution for this. Let's see what he had to do.
You're going to go into that building an American, and you're going to come out a Canadian.
I'm going to go into that building an American, and I'm going to come out Canadian.
And Dylan and Bandit. Theodore! All right, big smiles, everyone. Cheers. How does it feel to be Canadian?
It feels great. I feel like instantly changed. You know, on the drive home, I was letting everyone in front of me. And then we went to go get lunch, and it was completely crowded. So I was like, I'll come back. And I just, I've fully embraced being a Canadian already.
How cool is that? All right. Hey, oh, somebody came through on their promise. So we'll put it at that. So congratulations. I'm glad you feel so much better. I'm glad that you're a Canadian, and truly Ottawa, you know, there's a lot of left wing supporting people there. So I know that you'll do good over there and you'll fit right in. So congratulations on being a Canadian, and God bless you. But TDS is real. There's more. There's this gentleman over here. He left. He headed over to Canada back in, what was it? 25 November 25, and let's see what he had to say.
Well, here we are. It's Friday, and we are just literally minutes away from the border to Canada as we flee the U.S. Who would have thought at age 60 that this would be our day and our plan and our actions? And I know fleeing sounds dramatic and like something from a movie, but it's really true. We just feel so scrutinized and so silenced and so being portrayed as enemies within and being portrayed as domestic terrorists because we're standing up for what we believe in this country and what we believe is being violated and is going into an authoritarian regime and is in it actually and has been since he hit the ground running in January, the day he was inaugurated.
Hey, there's a couple things that kind of point out to that. You know, God bless you for leaving the United States and going to Canada. I'm sure you'll find some peace there. The things that stand out is he said that his voice is being silenced. Excuse me, when did you ever see a liberal leftist protesting with a silent voice? They're pretty outspoken, pretty much, and they say what's on their mind, and no one's stopping them from saying it. So I don't see how your voice is being silenced. You're out there, you're actually speaking right now on this feed right now, and you're making your voice known, and no one's trying to stop your voice. I don't see that to be true. And the other thing you said that, you know, we call you domestic terrorists. If you're out there protesting and you just, you know, you conduct peaceful protests, then no, you're not a domestic terrorist. But when you start picking up bricks and destroying property and doing violence towards another one because of their love for Trump or what they're wearing or how they think or how they speak, then yes, you do live inside the United States and you're conducting this violence and you're terrorizing somebody to keep their voice quiet. You are a domestic terrorist. So keep that in mind. But I do wish you well on your new ventures, and God bless you. So yes, once again, Hillary pops up every now and then, and she shows her full Trump Derangement Syndrome, TDS, over here. This time she's showing it in Germany, and this is the Munich Security Conference. And so she had her thing to say, but the Czech Deputy Prime Minister called her out for her TDS. And let's see what these guys have to say.
He has betrayed the West. He's betrayed human values. He's betrayed the NATO Charter, the Atlantic Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. a lot of what has been done before to try to make sense of how difficult it is to restrain people who want unaccountable power. And none of us in this room, including all of us on this panel, would choose to live under a regime that was so unaccountable that it could act with impunity the way that Putin does, except that's who Trump is modeling himself after.
Well, first, I think you really don't like him.
You know, that is absolutely true. But I really, not only do I not like him, I don't like him because of what he's doing to the United States and the world. And I think you should take a hard look at it if you think that there is something good that will come out of it.
Well, what I think Trump is doing in America, I think it is reaction for something that, for some policies that really went too far from the regular people.
Like what? Give us some
far from
examples.
reality. So, you know, we saw the cancel culture. We saw the woke revolution.
Yes, sir. So yes, he called her out on it, and the cancel culture. We remember that back in was it 2020, and also too we had the genders. He did speak a little bit on that. On the other clip I had, it had some music in there, so I didn't know if that would be copyright strike or what. So he did speak a little bit more on this, and that is right here.
Are here on the West, and let's respect ourselves in the differences we have. So I don't really like such a labeling as fascist. I think it's
Just look at Hillary's face. How smug is that? You know, she does not like people dictating to her on how to think or how to react, or she does not like any opposition to her own opinion.
It's in the world,
maybe there are, but
including in Europe.
I think there are. It ended some 70 or 80 years ago.
No, it hasn't.
Hopefully, you know, this is something I don't really like. That every day, every time I hear labeling someone as fascist or Nazist or whatever, I think we should calm down, because this is dividing the society.
And that's so true. We see it right here in America, and it's like the more people call each other fascists and Nazis and stuff like that, it's division. And you don't see that coming from the right, do you? It's mostly coming from the left. I don't see it. There's TDS everywhere, and it's just, boy, people need to seek help on that.
Maybe you are smart people. I'm not as smart as you, but
He says that just to be humble. And it's like going, and you have a lot of wisdom if you humble yourself, because you're open to information coming in. You can receive information, but when you elevate yourself and you think you're above everybody else and you're that intelligent, then you usually, there's a blocker going on, and you can't receive any information.
we should try to learn to talk to each other again, because this is something that went too far.
Yeah, it went too far. And so anyways, Hillary got called out on that. I'm sure she didn't like that. There is a full clip on it in a whole 6 minutes. I thought maybe 6 minutes is a little bit too much for this show. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. But Trump Derangement Syndrome, is it real? There is help. Remember, you can get help just like this guy did. He's happy. He's in Canada. He's a Canadian. And he said it was a life changer for him. He feels like a total different person. There's options out there. You can become a Canadian, or you can also do like that one psychiatrist did. He seeks his people, and they say that if they have anger issues, that 75% of them, when it comes to the surface, they find out it's TDS. So yes, TDS is a real thing, but we'll leave that for you and your opinion, and how to deal with that. Here's a couple options though for you. So God bless you, and you have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Freedom Talk.
Turn it up loud. This is Freedom Talk.